If it is or if it ain't, it's going to come out. Good morning, everybody. It's your girl, Miracle Sims, and you're listening to God, Sex, and Love, your daily dose of inspiration and juice. It is June the 7th, 2022, and today the topic is Faith Impractical? Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Happy Tuesday to you. I hope that you all had a great Monday. Mine was just fine. Really quick, but, for the most part, I just had a couple of things to do yesterday. One was an episode of GSL, talked to another amazing lady, and had another amazing conversation. And you know what? If nothing else, man, I truly feel that this whole thing, GSL, this whole movement, whatever this thing is that I'm embarking on, if it's not blessing anybody else, man, it's blessing me. It's blessing me to do a daily inspiration. It's blessing me to do the talk show and talk to so many amazing people from around the world and meet so many amazing people from around the world. It's blessing me to create things centered around this, but at the same time, branching from this as well. And, to God be the glory. To God be the glory for all things. I'm just so thankful to be in this place. I know I say that all the time. I share it with you all the time. People that listen to me frequently, I know you guys have heard this. But, I don't know. I guess as I reflect this morning, because, I told y'all in the after show, but I don't think I told the podcast people. But basically today, I'm supposed to go speak to some young ladies. There's like an entrepreneurship / team leadership type of summer camp that invited me to come and speak. And I think that's technically my first speaking engagement in regards to being me, right? Not being a character, not doing a show, anything like that, just being me. So I'm excited, to say the least. I'm excited. I'm looking forward to it. I haven't planned anything out. I feel like I'm just going to go and share my testimony. But even before I went live now, there was a couple of things that came into my mind about like maybe some points that I should possibly hit today as I talk to the young ladies and whatnot. But, what a blessing, man. What a blessing to receive an opportunity like this. And I hope that, again, I could be some encouragement and inspiration for these young ladies, and everything like that. So, with that on my mind, as well as just, thinking about, again, what God has done in my life and everything like that. I can't help but be thankful. Can't do nothing but be thankful and grateful for being in this place, right place, right time, in my humble opinion, And so I guess that kind of leads me to the topic for today. Because the topic is faith impractical. So I did my prayer meditation, and I was a little bit distracted or whatnot. Because again, like I said, I'm thinking about, the event coming up and whatnot. So I was a little bit distracted by while I was listening to the Soul Space app this morning. But I know afterwards, I guess I started looking up verses around like the future generations, as well as like, there was something else that came in my mind. But eventually, this question of practicality came into my mind because, one, I've been asked this numerous times. I feel like I've heard it numerous times about this word practical when it comes to me having faith or purpose or passion conversations. And I guess technically my husband brought it up yesterday because I was telling him about, or reminding him that I'm going to an event today. And he mentioned, he didn't say the word practical, but he just was like, oh, well, maybe you should tell them about, the benefits that you get as an entrepreneur in regards to taxes and whatnot. And I'm like, well, honestly, I'm still learning that aspect of what we get as entrepreneurs. Y'all know in 2020 again, they was helping out businesses and stimulus and all this different stuff, and so I was learning all that stuff. I mean, I don't think I ever prior to COVID knew anything about like the SBA and uh, everything like that, right? And so yeah, so honestly, it's like for me, it's not say it's just more beneficial, but I can more so share what I know, right? I can more so share about, you know, your passions, your purpose, faith, because these are the things I know, right? Um, but I understand that some people don't gravitate towards that type of information. Maybe some people are focused on, you know, the practicality, right? Um, and I get that. I get that. But that is what led me to the question of, is faith impractical? Because for whatever reason, it seems as if I don't know if it's just like when we think about faith, we're just thinking like, okay, you know, pray, believe, and that's it, right? Is that what we think that faith is, right? Is that what we think? And is that why we feel like it's impractical? Or do we understand that there's more that goes into faith? Um, I don't know this morning, right? That's my question today. And so I ended up looking up and finding quite a bit of information. So getting ready to share that. I got several definitions that you all can, listen to with your girl. So here we go. These are like all the definitions that I looked up this morning. So the definition of practical says of or concerned with the actual doing or use of something rather than with theory and ideas. Okay. Impractical says not adapted for use or action, not sensible or realistic. Okay, so without going forward, because I got several definitions. I got several more definitions. So shout out to the person that's, sticking out and watching live. But so if we just stop right there between practical and impractical, I, I mean, again, do we feel like faith fits that definition of being, not adapted for use or action? Do we think that having faith doesn't require some type of action? I mean, no, I don't. I think having faith requires a lot of action. But, if we feel like faith is impractical, then that means that we think that it's not adapted for use or action, not sensible or realistic. So I don't know. That's something to think about. But here's some more definitions, right? So I looked up faith, and it says complete trust or confidence in something or someone. And then the second definition says strong belief in God or in doctrines of a religion based on spiritual apprehension rather than proof. And so I was like, apprehension? What? I did define apprehension, so we're gonna talk about it in a second. But I just was like, what? Let me go and share that with y'all. So the definition of apprehension says anxiety or fear that something bad or unpleasant will happen. And I was like, wait. So it's saying that strong belief in God or in doctrines of a religion based on spiritual apprehension. So based on spiritual anxiety or fear? Well, I can't agree with that part. I don't think I have faith, and I don't think that it's based on fear. Now I get maybe that, I guess when you think of impending doom or hell aspect, I mean, then I guess if that's the only way that you think about faith and whatnot, then perhaps, okay. But I don't think majority of us believe that or have our faith because we are afraid. So I found that definition to be rather interesting this morning when I came across it. And then the last part that stood out to me as I read the definition was rather than proof. So I'm like, okay, wait. So it's giving the impression that faith, there's no proof in faith. And the thing is, I know that there's a lot of people, right? I mean, myself included, there's a lot of people that have had their experiences of seeing God working in their life, with them, for them, and through them, right? And so is that not proof? Is that not proof enough? Um, Maybe not. So I looked up the definition of proof. And it says evidence or argument establishing or helping to establish a fact or the truth of a statement. So again, with knowing that that's what proof means. So again, is my life experience not proof? Is my testimony not proof? Is I share with y'all. I've done everything but like show y'all my bank account at this point. I think and so would actually showing you my bank account be proof to show you all that at the end of the day God is moving through my life and providing, because there's no other explanation, right, to why I'm able to still thrive in the midst of this famine, as that people may look at it, or the pandemic, just put it like that. But anywho, so yeah, I know that's a lot of definitions this morning. That's a lot of definitions that we just took in. But I guess that's what I was led to look up and try to figure it out today. So what does the Bible have to say? Right? What does the Bible have to say about all of this? Well, Hebrews 11:6 says, "And without faith it is impossible to please him, for whoever would draw near to God must believe that he exists and that he rewards those who seek him." Now, whether you all agree or not, in my little humble opinion, when I read this verse, I see two practical things that you have to do, aside from just having faith. And one of those things is to believe. Well, actually three things I'm seeing in this verse. So you have to draw near to him, you have to believe, and you have to seek him. Now, are those not practical actions? Are those not things that we feel like we can do? I don't know. I mean, I guess that's up to you and how you look at life, right? But to me, I mean, drawing near to God, to me, practically, how would I do that? Okay, well, I think I would pray. I think I would set aside time to be, hold myself accountable in that area. I think I would talk to him about everything, right? That would be a way to draw near to God. I think I would read his word and everything like that. That'll be a way to draw near to God. Are those not practical actions and things to do? Right? I don't know. Y'all can answer that for yourselves. Then believe. Okay, well, as I read, do I believe the things I'm reading, right? As I live and see God move in my life, do I believe the things I see? As the preacher is talking and I'm learning, right? Do I believe what I hear? Are those not practical things to do? To me it is, but hey, again, to you can make your own decision there, but let's keep going here. Seeking him. Well, again, how do we seek God? Well, I don't think it's by just sitting, right? Again, I think it's by being intentional, right? Again, taking out the time to read God's word, taking out the time to fellowship with amongst, other believers, taking out the time to pray and do all those things that we already just talked about. You have to actively do those things. It's not like you say, okay, I believe, and then never do none of that stuff. Because at the end of the day, if you believe, then you would do those things. In order to draw near to God, to show him that you're seeking him, to show you that you are actively pursuing him and his will in your life. But anywho, I mean, I'm gonna keep going here. Another verse I came across this morning, Hebrews 11:1. Now faith is the assurance of things hoped for, the conviction of things not seen. So yeah, I mean, it's faith impractical. Okay, yeah, we can't see it, right? I can't say that I've seen a physical manifestation of Jesus or God, right? But I can say that I've felt, Jesus and God. I feel like I can say that I've seen, his hand in my life, um, through people and through actions and through uh, everything that he's done for me. Um, and I mean, I know the Bible goes deeper to say, like, at the end of the day, if you could see, uh, blessed are those that don't see and believe, versus those that see. Because if it's something you see and everything like that, is that faith. I'm paraphrasing. Y'all can look up what the actual verse says, but yeah, it does say something along those lines in the Bible. So it's like, but again, how would you know that if you're not actively reading and learning and studying and pursuing, again, God's will and way? Keep going here. Revelations 14:12, it says, "Here is a call for the endurance of the saints, those who keep the commandments of God and their faith in Jesus." Um, so yeah, I mean, if nothing else, Jesus said that the main commandment is to love your neighbors as you love yourself, right? Um, Again, I'm paraphrasing. I might have missed a step there, but love God and love your neighbors as you love yourself. Um, and so, and again, from what I'm understanding, as the word says, if you do that, then all the rest of the commandments, it's like you're going to automatically do. Now, is that going to take some type of work and effort on your end? Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's not going to be easy. That's not an easy task to uh, to do that. I mean, well, it depends on where you at mentally, but it's going to be a daily thing. That's that's what I mean. It's a daily experience. I'm going to do this today, and I'm going to choose to do it again, and I'm going to choose to do it again, and I'm going to choose to do it again, and live my life accordingly. Just saying. Just saying. These are the things I came across this morning. James 2:14. What good is it, my brothers, if someone says he has faith but does not have works? Can that faith save him? And again, I know we had this conversation about faith and works all the time. I know I told y'all that I struggle every now and then, trying to make sure that I'm not overstepping my boundaries when it comes to the work. Because again, sometimes we feel like, we do everything ourselves, right? That we miss blessings, right? And so there's a balance. There definitely is a balance. But again, you can't be on the opposite side and just say, okay, I have faith, and then you just sit. I have faith that my garden will grow, yet you never tend to it. I have faith that, whatever, insert whatever you feel, right? I have faith that X, Y, and Z, but then you never make any moves, you never do anything to exercise that faith. I can only really share my testimonies fully here, and so to me, this is an ongoing example. The fact that I get up in the mornings and do this, you know what I mean, is a exercising of my faith. Now, am I a perfect human? No. Like, am I by any means? Without God, I would not be here right now. So again, thank God for Jesus. Thank God for my mother. Thank God for the experiences and the things that I've learned along the way to get me to be right here, right now, doing this. But yeah, I mean, it's going to take time. It's not going to be something where it's like, oh, well, because again, I could tell y'all about those days in Florida, those days where I was, you know, um, struggling. Just say it like that, struggling, struggling to, at those crossroad moments in my life where I had to decide what I was going to do and what I really truly wanted in life, um, and everything like that. And so Friends, I mean, hey, it's Faith Impractical. Again, I guess it depends on how you look at it. It depends on, you know, what you're going to do with your faith. I guess, yeah, if you're not going to take any actions on your faith, then maybe it is impractical, because then you feel like there's nothing practical about it, right? Because you're like, oh, well, you talk about faith, but, how is that going to practically, like, what can I do, X, Y, and Z? And it's like, I mean, well, there's plenty to do, um, ask God what he wants you to do. If you don't have any ideas, I mean, the least you could do is take out time to pray and take out time to study the Bible and read it for yourself. Take out time to fellowship amongst others. Take out time to, that's the least you could do. And then from there, who knows what you can do from there. Just saying. I got one more verse, I think. James 2:22. Well, actually, I got two more verses. James 2:22 says, "You see that faith was active along with his works, and faith was completed by his works." So again, yeah. Faith and works, friends. You need both. And if you feel like faith is impractical, then that means you ain't working. My little humble opinion now. That's just my opinion based on Bible. Romans 2:13 says, "For it is not the hearers of the law who are righteous before God, but the doers of the law who will be justified." Yeah, man, there's some more verses to go deeper with, to peruse and let marinate on your heart, souls, and minds. And I hope that it would encourage you and inspire you in this area. But regardless, man, I say that faith is not impractical. I say that faith is very practical. And there's a lot that you can do to exercise that faith. And you know what? That's the juice. The Bible verse of today is Ezekiel 36:26. It says, "A new heart also will I give you, and a new spirit will I put within you, and I will take away the stony heart." The stony heart, the stony heart and of your flesh, and I will give you an heart of flesh. Y'all can confirm if that verse is right that I just read. But y'all, thank you so much for listening. And podcast people, I thank you so much for listening. I hope that these words encouraged you and inspire you today. And I look forward to talking to you all tomorrow if the Lord's will. Y'all just listen to your daily dose of inspiration and juice. Hope you guys have a wonderful day. And TTYL. Bye-bye.
This has been brought to you in part by Anointed Touch Health, Fitness, and Beauty. Eat right and exercise daily. Walk with God. Run from the devil. 1 John 20:20. You have an anointing from the Holy One. Visit anointedtouch-hfb.com for more information.